Yo, welcome back, y'all. This shit crazy. Let me fix my light. Let me fix my light because this is real. Man, we finna get into some shit. Now I know I've been gone for a minute. First off, before I even get there, shout out to the gang. You feel me for constantly showing love and support. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. You feel me? Um, if y'all don't know, you know what I'm saying by now. Yes, we got a lot of shit coming. You feel me? So I've been a little absent for like the past week or so. You feel me? Because I've been trying to handle shit on the back end to kind of support the new channel plans and new ideas and business moves that I'm making. You feel me? So y'all gotta excuse me on that. You feel me? But like I said, shout out to the gang. We back. It's Master Alchemist. You feel me? Now I came with a very special treat for y'all. I came with a very, very special treat for y'all today. You feel me? Because today, guess what we getting into? Meditation, the real meditation. You feel me? Now it's a lot of let me put it like this. When it comes to meditation, there's really no one way to meditate. You know, meditation is different for each individual person. And it's kind of really up to you to make your own meditation plan and agenda for yourself. You know, because what works for one person might not work for you. But with that being said, in my experience, in my personal experience, and also my experience with teaching other people meditation, this method seems to work the best. Um, Now, if y'all are wondering what I'm talking about, right? I brought a very special treat for y'all today. I bought I brought a very special treat for y'all today. Now, this book, the Psychic Workbook, is important, right? It's very important. It's a very special book to me because it quite literally changed my whole perspective on meditation in general. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even fully understand meditation until I read this book. You feel me? This book has given me so much insight on meditation, so much insight on myself to where I can go into spaces within and heal. You know what I'm saying? And it really breaks down like it just really breaks down meditation down to a fine point, bro. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm here to just share a little bit out of the book that I think is important for y'all to know. Because it was I would man, if I could go back in time and I could get any book, I would get this one probably first. Probably. I say probably because I got a lot of books in there that I love, but this would definitely be my top three books to go get. And I've recommended it on the channel actually before. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and read something out of the book to y'all. So this is on the topic of the higher self, right? It says, as you have learned previously in this chapter, your higher self is the part of you that coexists between this realm and the next, right? It is your soul's true identity, the eternal you that you have always been and will always go back to. Um, this is the part of you that is your knowing, right? It is your natural intuitive self that you can look back upon and realize you may have heard but shut out, right? And that's a lot of people's problem, right? Like I'm gonna continue reading that paragraph right there. But this is kind of the thing that I want y'all to kind of follow along with me on is that you have a higher self, right? A form of consciousness that exists within you. Um, and I'm trying to basically what I'm trying to get y'all to do is be able to decipher between your ego and your higher self. You know, when you're listening to your own thoughts and you're analyzing your thoughts, you're gonna be breaking down, okay, well, what thought was actually me and what thought was something that's rooted to the planet, like rooted to the ego, rooted to the earth, rooted to the third dimension. You feel me? So I'm gonna help y'all. I'm gonna help y'all understand, right? So like I said, this is the part of you that is your knowing. It's your natural intuitive self that you can look back upon and realize you may have heard but shut out. Think of this earth plane as a classroom for advanced spiritual healing and learning and your higher self as the teacher. I'm going to say that again. Think of this earth plane as a classroom for advanced spiritual healing and learning, and your higher self as the teacher. When you develop your psychic sense, you will be able to sense the higher self of others, the part of them that is sometimes very different from the persona that they are presenting, right? And that is a gift I happen to have, and it's probably something that you'll develop along the way, like by default, right? Okay, now I'm gonna break down. Now that I've broke down kind of like the higher self voice, I'm gonna break down the ego voice, right? The ego voice is the human part of you, the human part of you that is sending messages. It is not the same as your higher self voice because it is rooted solely in the physical world, right? I'm gonna say that again. It is not the same as your higher self voice because it is rooted solely in the physical world. This voice is often the loudest, yet it's actually never the first voice to speak to you. It follows the voices of spirit, loved ones on the other side, angels, spirit guides, or other ascended beings, and your higher self. This is the voice that will downplay. I'm gonna say that again because this is important, y'all. This is where y'all need to lock in right here. This is the voice that will downplay an accomplishment or brush off something that felt like a connection. It is usually the same pessimistic, doubtful, and fearful voice that follows any intuitive thought. And I want y'all to just notice how they just said three low vibrational ass things. So, like, without even me finishing the rest of that paragraph, we can already determine that the ego is just low vibrational in its state of being, right? It's always telling you the bad things. It's always telling you the bad parts of yourself. You feel me? And that's how this information could help a lot of people because it's like you got to know when it's the real you talking versus the ego you versus the version of yourself that exists due to environments, due to toxic environments, you know, due to bullying or due to other just any doubtful entity that exists in your life. You feel me? Any doubtful entity that exists in your life shaped your ego. And your ego is just it's something that's just almost a weight until you master it. The ego acts as like a weight. It weighs you down from elevation. Like every time you try to elevate in life, your ego is gonna be the one telling you, no, don't do this. Because this is weird. People gonna think you weird for this. Or I don't look good in this dress. Or I'm not look good with these earrings. Like that's your ego. That's your lower self. It's ego slash lower self. You see what I'm saying? Um, um, and that's I'm trying to get y'all to kind. I'm gonna go to another page in here because I wanted y'all to get okay. I think this is it right here. Now this paragraph right here is called ego versus intuition, right? One of the obstacles you will face in your psychic journey is that of the ego. The ego is the human part of yourself whose sole job is to keep you alive. Thank you, because that's why bro, I always tell people ego is survival, bro. Like I'm not even saying completely like get rid of your ego through meditation, right? The goal in meditation is to accept the messages that you are receiving from higher self and to negate that of the ego. And this book is here to help you kind of discern what is what. You know what I mean? Mastering your mind. I tell people just make like stop allowing your ego to have the wheel of the vessel. You know what I mean? Because the ego is necessary for survival, right? Because not every situation in real life is going to require you to maintain the higher self mindset, the higher self vibration. Sometimes circumstance brings you to where you have to temporarily allow your ego to take over, you know, but as long as you know the difference, you know, as long as you're aware of the shift, because a lot of people don't have that insight in themselves to be able to determine whether or not it's ego or it's higher self, you know. But after this video, hopefully y'all can get a better understanding of how to grow a discernment to be able to distinguish what is higher self and what is lower self. You feel me? Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that. The ego is the human part of yourself whose sole job is to keep you alive. The best and most effective way it does this is by trying to keep you absolutely the same. The ego fears change because change brings a whole heap of shit. Because at the end of the day, you don't know if some shit's gonna work out. That's why your ego be trying to protect you. It's like, no, don't do this. Because what if this happened? What if this? It's a state of fear, and a lot of people exist in this state of fear, and that is what prohibits them from being able to grow. So anytime y'all try to do something that y'all not used to doing, and you get this overwhelming sensation of fear or anxiety, it's your lower self trying to protect you. But sometimes it's overprotective, bro. And you got to know when it's time to step out of that, to step out of these comfort zones, to start doing shit that you really want to do. Because once you meditate, you're going to start, and you start healing trauma, you're going to start realizing it's a lot of shit that I want to do that I never did. Even with myself, I never had the opportunity because I never saw myself in a certain light. So I didn't have the opportunity to do things because I never even knew that I wanted to do it until I started meditating. You feel me? Um, Anything that promotes change is immediately and effectively beaten back until it no longer exists. How your ego presents itself in this particular journey is by downplaying your intuition. Self doubt, skepticism, fear, and low confidence are all very powerful tools that the ego uses to try to stop you from strengthening your innate abilities, right? The more you understand the ego and how it functions, to keep you from progressing, the better you can appreciate it, but also not take it so seriously. That's all this shit is, bro. It's literally taking your power back. Telling your ego you can stay and you can reside within this vessel, but just chill your ass out because it's my turn. And you got to tell your ego when you meditating, like, I appreciate you because you got me this far in life, but I got to take the wheel back. I got to take control back, and that's your higher self invoking control over the vessel. And once you do that and you come out of your meditative state, you're going to feel way different. You're going to feel way fucking different. Now the thoughts that higher self is sending down, you feel me? You're going to pick up on that a lot clearer, and your intentions are going to become a lot clearer in life. And once your intentions get to being clear, more clear to you, it's more easy for you to recognize self-doubt. And as soon as you feel self-doubt, you know who that is talking, and you know it's not higher self. So if higher self is trying to come and send you messages so you can manifest properly, right? So you can invoke power in the third dimension from a higher dimensional plane, and you can speak into existence what it is that you want. You know, like once that becomes clear to you, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to recognize lower self. Now, anytime you get self doubt, you're gonna be like, "Shut up! I don't even know why you talking, fuck nigga," because it ain't time for you to shine right now. Think about how long your ego and lower self has been beating your new ideas down, has been beating down your motivation, has been beating down your confidence. Like, this knowledge can help you become the real you. You know what I'm saying? There's so many parts of you out there. So a lot of you people out there have good ass attributes about yourself that have never been fully recognized, that have never been fully realized. And so next time you look in the mirror and you get thoughts of self-doubt, all you have to do is recognize it as lower self and then shut those thoughts out and channel all the thoughts that are good about you because they're true. You see what I'm saying? They're true to you. They're true to higher self. And then it becomes manifested on this plane until it is your reality. You see what I'm saying? That's how powerful this knowledge is. I only read y'all like half of 3 paragraphs out of this whole book, bro. So just imagine how much this shit could change your life, you know? And I really wanted to get into meditation because so far we've identified higher self and lower self, right? And I'm just going to recap. Higher self, positive thoughts, clear intentions, intuition. Lower self / ego is self-doubt, anything that is diminishing your confidence. Lower self. So when it comes to meditation, right? I'm gonna go ahead and let the book break it down for y'all, right? So meditating before a psychic practice will bring you to a comfortable vibrational level in which you will be more open to spirit messages. It will also strengthen the communication between you and your higher self, right? When you take this time to meditate, you are opening yourself up to the abundant knowledge and power the universe consistently provides in order to obtain the best results from your efforts. Energy will flow through you more easily, and you in turn will have a heightened ability to decipher its frequency into messages. Meditating can seem difficult at first because your ego will try to interfere. Understanding that fear of change, connection, and the spiritual awakening can create a bit of anxiety during meditation will help you work through it, right? The more you meditate, the less you will find it a challenge. Eventually, you will find yourself meditating often and even multiple times throughout your day, right? Right? Um, and so with meditation, right? A lot of people um do something, and I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know what this something is because I used to do it too. Y'all ever set the intention to meditate and then y'all are meditating, and this is for beginners, by the way, or if you've just been meditating incorrectly. Y'all ever just sit down and be like, what the fuck am I doing? Why is my goofy ass sitting here crisscross applesauce in the middle of my motherfucking room looking like a total goofball? I want y'all to know something. That is not an abnormal thought, and y'all are not the only one thinking that. I used to do the same thing in my beginner trial meditation runs until I recognized that voice that was telling me that was lower self, right? Because the whole purpose of meditation is to communicate with yourself like properly, right? To analyze higher self and lower self thoughts. And with me not knowing that beforehand, I didn't even know it was lower self. I'm just thinking it's my fucking brain. I'm just thinking that's me. But I had to dissociate from my ego. I had to dissociate from that. I had to step back from that and look at this shit from a higher perspective, the perspective of the higher self, and realize that those thoughts are not going to allow me to grow, to be able to meditate. Because every time I sit down and set the intention, I'm sitting here in my head thinking about pizza, thinking about some other goofy shit, and also thinking that the whole idea of meditating in general is goofy. You see what I'm saying? So that's why if y'all are failing meditation sessions, it's because y'all don't know how to analyze your thoughts properly, right? The idea in meditation is to shut down self doubt. right? To let those thoughts flow through, but just recognize them as what they are, lower self and ego, and realize that you are higher self. And so now when you're going to be analyzing your thought patterns and knowing, okay, well, this thought is good for me and this thought isn't. And if you really want to grow, then you're going to choose the thoughts that are good for you, and you're going to negate the ones that are bad. You're going to lower the sound of the bad voice and increase the volume of the good one. Everything good about yourself. And not just only do that, but also to accept that higher sound as your reality, as your future and your present. So now when you're meditating and you're listening to all the positive things about yourself in your head, you start to mold subconsciously. You start to embrace the fact that you are a dope ass person, that you are interesting, and that you have interests that you never even had the self-confidence to even investigate. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably was like, "Oh, I wanted to be a football player, but I'm ass at football, so why would I do that?" And now you're not a football player, but low key, you could have good ass natural ability. You know what I'm saying? You might could catch good, you might could throw good, you might got some shit you got to work on. You know what I'm saying? But practice make perfect. But you would never even enter that space had you not accepted the higher self. You feel me? So just imagine how many opportunities that you probably missed out on, not knowing that lower self and ego was holding your ass back in life. You know? Um, so yeah, when y'all meditating, y'all just analyze, recognize, and discern between what is good, what is bad, what is lower self, what is higher self. And that's gonna help you become a better it's just gonna help you become better at meditation in general, right? Um Also, you can also apply this to just thinking in general, not even meditating. Like to me personally, I don't even meditate as often as I used to because I exist in a meditative state. I exist in a constant state of mind or a vibrational state of being where I'm always discerning good and like higher self and lower self. You know, that's why y'all never will see me out here doing crazy shit or like just blatantly being disrespectful to people. You know what I'm saying? Or like I'm genuinely not a rude person. I'm not a mean person. You feel me? But I live in a meditative state to where I know when I need to take on higher self and when I'm trying to manifest, when I'm working, when I'm grinding, when I'm thinking about business ideas, when I'm thinking about personal goals, I'm existing in a state of higher self. But when it's crunch time or when it's pressure coming my way or when I gotta do some certain shit, that's when ego come. But the thing is, I allow ego to have a space to exist. Ego doesn't allow me to allow higher self a place to exist. Right? This is my higher self's vessel. This is not my ego's vessel anymore. You see what I'm saying? And so I create a space, a controlled space and a controlled environment where my ego can thrive. You know what I'm saying? But I allow it. You know, I give it permission. It doesn't just run rampant. It doesn't just do what the fuck it want to do. There's a lot of shit that my ego probably want to do, but I won't let it do it because this ain't the ego's vessel anymore, right? So there's that, y'all. How much more y'all want me to break down? I done broke that shit down well enough for today. You know what I'm saying? I might start a meditation series where I'm breaking down meditation, right? Um, but this is a psychic workbook. If y'all are psychics out there, right? You know what? My next video should be breaking down psychic abilities. Maybe I might do that. I don't know. I don't know. But this book, the whole purpose of this book, right, is to just It's literally, it says it's a psychic workbook. That's quite literally what it is. It's a workbook for psychic people. It's literally so you can practice and hone and upgrade your psychic abilities. Um, am I a psychic? A little bit, right? A little bit. Um, there's so many different types and levels to being a psychic, right? I've had a few experiences enough to where when I was reading that book, it helped me realize how much of a psychic I really was. And a lot of people out here are psychics. Like y'all ain't never finished somebody's sentence and then y'all look at each other like, what the fuck? Or like you ever say some shit and the motherfucker was like, bro, I was just thinking that. That's weird. Yeah, it's a lot of shit that in this book is gonna show you that a lot of people just naturally overlook. Um, but our psychic abilities that can be worked on and advanced and strengthened. You feel me? So not all psychics are just people that talk, that are medium psychics, you know what I'm saying, or people that you would say talk to the dead, you know. Although I have done that, I wouldn't consider myself a psychic medium because I feel psychic mediums might have a deeper level of I don't know how to explain it, but I don't communicate to the dead just on a daily basis. It's like there's certain conditions that I have to like intentions that I have to set, and then things that have to all go right, and then it happens. You feel me? But I can't just communicate with the dead all free willy nilly whenever the fuck I like. I mean, I guess when I want to. You feel me? It has to be like, to me, it's like a two-way street. But that's a whole nother video, right? I ain't even gonna break that down because then y'all gonna be looking at me crazy whenever I get to really breaking this shit down. But just know it's a lot of people out here that be talking to the dead. It's not really weird for real. It's actually pretty normal. Like if it, like all my friends have talked to their loved ones that have passed. Damn near all of them. You feel me? So there's that, y'all. But I guess I'm gonna go ahead and end the video there. I might just name this one part one, meditation. Meditation part one. I might do that. I might just make it a series. I don't know. Might gotta break this meditation shit down. But I recommend buying the book, bro. Because when you read the book, it like there's just certain shit in there. Like not everything in the book resonates with me, but like once there's some shit in that book that'll send chills down your spine because like it just relates directly to you. It might be an experience you had, but you just um overlooked. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's meditation, y'all. Um, if y'all want to update on the interview I got coming with Pharaoh, um, I'm letting Pharaoh rock out right now. You know what I'm saying? Cause he has some shit going on. But whenever he returns from handling his business, we finna get it in, y'all. You feel me? And honestly, I've been debating on whether or not I want to do the interview in person or virtually. So once I get all that figured out, I'm gonna update y'all and let y'all know what's going on with that. You feel me? But if I got the opportunity to do an in-person interview, you feel me? I'm gonna definitely take that. You feel me? And we done already discussed certain things. You feel me? So I ain't gonna say too much. But that's on the way. Just stay patient with me, stay tuned, hang in there, and we gonna get it on and popping, y'all. But peace, love, and light be on to y'all. Stay away from the monitoring spirits. You know what I'm saying? If you gotta block a motherfucker because all they doing is observing you and not interacting with you, that's essentially spying on you if you think about it. You feel me? So go ahead and block them monitoring spirits. You feel me? Um, surround yourself with people that value you, that contribute to your personal value, and rock out and go live y'all life. And don't get lost in your goals. Do not get lost in your goals. That's another thing. That's another problem. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, peace, love, and light to y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe for me. Let's get it.